My guest today is Maria Knapp, president of the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches, a not-for-profit organization helping at-risk children and families across Florida since 1957. Under her leadership, the youth ranches continue to provide safe homes, summer camps, and character-building programs that change lives. Maria has dedicated herself to serving young people and strengthening communities. And she joins us today to share how the ranches are shaping brighter futures for Florida's youth. Welcome, Maria.
Thanks, David.
Good to have you. So there's so much we can talk about, so I'll try to narrow it down. Can you share with our viewers how the Florida Sheriff Youth Ranches started and what need was it intended to address and try to solve?
So our sheriffs of Florida are a very visionary group of folks. And back in the 50s, if you read the press clippings and news articles that were around at the time, there was a lot of conversation about juvenile delinquency and children, making difficult decisions to handle difficult situations in their lives. And the sheriffs, actually, we had to have two sheriffs go out to Texas to extradite a couple of teenagers. He was shot. She was pregnant. They'd robbed a grocery store, and they were from Hillsborough County. They had come through Ocala, and they caught them in Texas. And so the sheriffs went out to pick up these young people. And while they were out there, deputies mentioned a location called the Cal Farley's Boys Ranch in Amarillo. Back in the day, wrestling was just as popular then as it is now. And Cal Farley was a wrestler who had started a children's program for kids in difficult situations. And the deputy spoke and shared that story with them. And so when the sheriffs were on their way home, they said, you know, if a wrestler could do that, then certainly the sheriffs of Florida could do this. And they came back with a vision for the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches. And the whole point was to give children really a safe, stable place to live so they would not have to make poor decisions to care for themselves.
Wow. I never knew the background. That's excellent. That's very interesting. So how has things evolved since 1957? That's a long period because we have a very different world today, as you know, and in terms of serving youth in more of a modern context.
So the situations that children experienced then are somewhat still today, making poor decisions to take care of themselves, neglect, abandonment, whatever those things are. They still exist today. And so we are still in a place where we are working with children. Maybe some of the choices they're making are different. There are different negative behaviors to engage in. However, it's still the same basic principle, giving children a safe, stable home.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, yeah, society's evolved. Technology, of course, is a major factor. Social media influences access to things that were not available in 1957. But core values remain the same, right?
Yes,
so what core values would you say really guide your work, and how does that translate into the day-to-day programming that you're doing to serve these kids?
Yeah, so the Florida Sheriff's Ranches has 4 pillars: work, study, play, and pray. And those show up because everyone has to have a job. And young people need to understand what it means to have a good work ethic and to have good job skills. And coming from a situation where maybe you have a poor self-esteem or self-confidence, the first thing and the first place we really see change is when our young people get a job on campus, and the first time they complete something and they're told, wow, what a great job you did. Or they get to see something completed and they themselves are going, whoa, I didn't know I could do that. So work is a very important part of what we do, building self-esteem, self-confidence, and building solid job skills. And you have to work to have finances. You have to have money to exist in this world.
No work, no pay.
No work, no pay. And how do you teach children good financial skills if they have no money? So it accomplishes many things to talk about work. Study. Our young people are often behind in school. There's a lot of instability in their homes. Maybe their self-esteem and self-confidence, lack of trust of adults has landed them in a place where school's just not been a priority. or they've spent so much time out of class for whatever reason, behavior related or personal things in the homes, that they're just behind. So we spend a lot of time emphasizing getting on track in school, so they will be working with their cohort so they can graduate on time, and then encouraging them in secondary education, whether that's college or trade school, vocational, or going straight into the workforce. So learning job skills while they work for us is a very important piece of things too. We also have an independent living program where our young people can go to our scholarship home, and that is for secondary education purposes. So if our young people don't necessarily have a good solid home network, there's a residential advisor that's working with them on how to navigate job and school and balancing your life and all the things that have to happen. And then finally, I would say play. So if you are in a home and your mom's working jobs and you're a latchkey kid, you're not necessarily playing organized sports or getting out a whole lot. So coming into the ranch family, we have a lot of built-in play on campus, and then kids can participate off campus in recreational programs. But on campus, we have horse programs, working with the cows. We have arts and crafts, sports, any number of things. Because play, you learn a lot in play. You learn teamwork, cooperation, communication, again, things that we need in life to be a good partner at work and a good partner at home. And then, pray. So pray is
last but not least.
Yeah. Last but not least, our vice president program calls it our foundation. At the end of the day, we want our young people to know there is a God who loves them. Now they can explore that in depth. Maybe we're planting that seed and it's really shallow right now, or maybe they have an opportunity to really start growing. But we, inevitably at some point in all our lives, we're in a place where we need to fall back on that. We know that there's a God who loves us and He's there and supports and encourages us. And so we want to plant those seeds, we water those seeds, and our young people at least take that basic foundation with them, if not more, when they leave our programs.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of wonderful information about the Florida Sheriff Youth Ranch. And Maria, we're very excited to bring you on. We call this our Plan Stronger Together segment, so that we can share with the community things that are going on and opportunities for people to participate and support organizations like yours. What's the best website for people to take a look at?
Yes, so you can find us at www.youthranches.org, where we have, of course, everybody has one, your Donate Now button. So you can learn more about us and ways to give on our website or give a gift.
Excellent. Maria Knapp, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you, David, for having me.